Mel.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Didn't realize that was you back there.
I was 2 rows from my tennis coach.
How's the foot?
It's getting better. I'm walking.
Good, good. Okay.
Harder today, but it's going to take time. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Better right away.
Hey, John.
Bad rules, bad rules. No, we're two-time losers here, John, so.
Nothing close to what I've seen posted in multiple places.
Good job.
I think I sensed it. I think I sensed from the I saw the temperature from the play for the especially well. You might consider the cost of the time to develop the timelines.
I only got mine yet this year. I don't know about you.
But I'm thinking, oh, okay. So Mr. Baker's coat is right out of the window. And already written in the bylaw. How much would that cost? Download the bylaw. My biggest thought in the forest is these things. The law basically mandates the zoning bylaw. Oh, no question about that. That's already happening in the section 17.
I saw Roy a cop. See the guy come up and harvest it?
Well, that was hilarious.
Really?
I saw that in the times of the time. When he actually stepped up and stopped at that side. I thought it was so I was guessing from what I saw that probably this was one of those. He had a tag. He had a Romanian with a tag. So I think it must be elected to one of it's typical, I think, in most towns that have elected members.
I mean, we back in the day had 240. So we had 8 precincts, 30 precincts back in our day. And, out of 240, you'd get a buck 20, a buck 30, something like that. So most meetings.
Which 50 was
Yeah.
so typically most of the electoral town meetings.
Okay. Yep.
You would think at least a representative to me, or a representative, some of their
made office and representative. Town meeting member, you would get a package in advance. You would have that. You were always the whole business. It wasn't just looking at it for the first time that night. It was honestly important. It's funny that a lot of them
What's that?
in the town would have said that rather than going to the town council.
Well, I've sent several emails to the company that has our extended warranty, waiting to hear back from whether we can ship the unit and get a replacement unit. That's plan one. Plan two, we have an older switcher in storage.
There's a bunch of them.
That's what I'm looking into. If we can swap out the unit we have with the older unit. I gotta talk to Zach and find out if he's okay with that. So I've got a plan A and a plan B, and I'm hoping we don't have to go to plan C.
Randolph has not.
Trying a lot.
That's why some of them that have run in the past, they're right now.
Except when I'm home.
As long as you don't raise your hand. Sorry. I can't be.
Use your microphone.
Called to the office.
Starting early, huh?
boss is this. Are you?
There is someone in the seat next to me. Oh, there's one over there.
Last year there was 28 the DPW guy that I
Good evening. We just waiting for a few people to come in. A very well-attended meeting. I'm going to do some housekeeping that we do every meeting. I'm going to read the list of out-of-town attendees that are here for either business. They represent us and do some of the school. They represent us in the State House or town workers. Charlie Seelig, Town Administrator. Stephanie Carrera, Assistant Town Clerk. Rebecca Johnson, Assistant Town Administrator, HR Coordinator. I did see Russ Hannigan here, so he was here. I don't know if he still is. John Clifford, Town Council. Paula Wolf, Director of Assessing. Bill Silva, Junior Senior High Principal. Megan Crosby, Treasurer Collector. Sue Pendergast, COA Director. Ryan McGonigal, IT Director. Lee Nguyen, Principal Clerk. Christopher Buckley, Veteran Service Officer. Karen Urbeck, Library Director. Michael Conolgi Power, I hope I said it right, Mike. Power, Assistant Superintendent, Executive Assistant Superintendent of Schools. Vicki Bartlett, Plymouth County Outreach Program. Allison Sullivan, Almeida, State Rep. And Jen McPartland. So those are the people that are here for the town business. So everybody to my left in the back are non-voters. So don't play any games and raise your hand if we have to count. Just so you know, the middle back and the right back, from my perspective, can't see you, so if you're going to speak, you're going to have to come down to the mic. Well, you've got to come down to the microphone anyway. Procedurally, I see some new faces. How this works is there's going to be an article, a motion made based on an article by the proponent of it. We'll get a second. We'll get the recommendation if we need any. If you want to speak on an article, you have to come down to the microphone. That's how I can recognize you. You have to state your name, full name, and address. And you can make your point. And I'm asking, I've been doing this for 22 years now. I'm asking to please stick to the matter at hand. One good thing about this town in my 22 years, I haven't seen too much civil discourse. We want to keep everything, you know, we can disagree, but we can agree civilly. And no name calling, no snide remarks. You have something to say, come up to the mic and say it, and I'll acknowledge you. We have one article that seems to draw a lot of interest. I have a little leeway. I'm going to ask that most people speak to the article, speak once, so everyone gets a chance. Again, to speak on any article, you've got to come up to the microphone so I can recognize you as a speaker. It looks like we might be all set, so before we have the town clerk, where are they hiding the American flag? If you'd all stand and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag's to my right. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As the country celebrates its 250th anniversary, I brought out my special red, white, and blue tie, but it's the Red Sox. So my love for the Red Sox, which isn't very high right now, but the important thing about it, and I've known other town meetings that talk about it, the important thing about the 250th anniversary is that town meeting was one of the things that started it. I was lucky enough to live in Weymouth before I came here to this great town. And Weymouth's claim to fame, as I tell my kids, it's like one of the greatest towns, but it was the site of the first town meeting. But we do better than Weymouth because Weymouth went to a representative town meeting when I lived there. We have an open town meeting. You can make the decision. That's what this country was founded on. So as we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the country, remember that when we meet here tonight. Is the town clerk ready to? So what we're going to do procedurally, we have both meetings scheduled at 7 o'clock, the special and the annual. The town clerk is going to read the warrant for the annual town meeting. I'm then going to entertain a motion to suspend the annual town meeting and open the special, because that comes first. But they're both scheduled at the same time, so we have to open them simultaneously. Madam Clerk?
Oh, good. I don't have to do a dramatic interpretation as we waited for the screen to pop up. Okay. Greetings. In the name of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, you are hereby directed to notify and warn the inhabitants of the town of East Bridgewater, who being qualified to vote in elections and town affairs, to meet at the Junior-Senior High School, 143 Plymouth Street, in said East Bridgewater, on Monday, the 11th day of May, 2026, at 7 p.m. Then and there to act upon the enclosed articles to wit. You are directed to serve this warrant by posting a copy thereof, attested to by you in writing in each of the 6 public places in the town, at least 7 days before the time for holding the meeting called for in the warrant. Herefore, fail not, and make due return of this warrant, with your doings thereon, to the town clerk of said town, on or before the 27th day of April 2026. Given our hands this 13th day of April in the year of our Lord 2026.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now I'll entertain a motion to suspend the town meeting to a later time. Motion made, seconded. Motion seconded. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Now we're going to special town meeting. Madam Clerk.
Same thing. Ditto. Greetings in the name of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You are hereby directed to notify and warn the inhabitants of the town of East Bridgewater, who being qualified to vote in the elections and town affairs, to meet at the Junior-Senior High School, 143 Plymouth Street, in said East Bridgewater, on Monday, the 11th day of May, 2026, at 7 p.m. Then and there to act upon the enclosed articles to wit. You're directed to serve this warrant by posting a copy thereof attested to by you in writing in each of the 6 public places in the town, at least 14 days before the time for holding the meeting called for in the warrant. Herefore, fail not, and make due return of this warrant with your doings thereon to the town clerk of said town on or before the 27th day of April 2026, given under our hands this 13th day of April in the year of our Lord 2026.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll get right into the special town meeting. Article 1, Carol Julius, Board of Select Persons.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I think it's on. I move that the town vote to transfer from available funds the sum or sum of money from account number 1-0-359-3590 free cash, $51,000 required to meet obligations for the Clerical Association and Superior Officers Association contract for FY26 as printed.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion made and seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this.
Ms. Julius, for discussion, if any.
This is for contracts that were settled after the start of the fiscal year, so it's just getting the salaries up to where they need to be based on those contracts.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 1 as presented? This requires majority vote. All in favor of Article 1 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 1 passes. Article 2, Catherine Mullen, Board of Select Persons.
I move that the town vote to raise and appropriate transfer from account number 1-0-359-3590, free cash, the sum of $80,499.33 to the account number 1-910-6014-5167, contractual obligations to fund the sick leave buyback for 2 members of the fire department who will be retiring in FY26.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion made and seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Ms. Mullen, for discussion, if any. Any further discussion on Article 2 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 2 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 2 passes. Article 3, Mrs. Pagone.
Yes, Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer from account number 800-359-3190, General Stabilization, to the account number 1-222-620-5760, Court Judgment, the sum of $425,000 to pay the costs associated with settling environmental litigation involving a firing range used by the East Bridgewater Police Department since the early 1990s, the use of which contributed to the containment of at the property.
We have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Finance Committee recommendation?
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Mrs. Pagone for discussion, if any.
Just briefly, it's a cleanup of the property that was the obligation of the town of East Bridgewater.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 3 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 3 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I chair, it's passed by a two-thirds majority. Article 4, Ms. Julius.
I move that the town vote to appropriate and transfer $90,000 from account number 1-0-359-3590 free cash to account number 1-151-520-5303 Town Council Professional Services.
I have a motion, do I have a second? Motion made, seconded. Finance Committee recommendation?
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Ms. Julius for discussion, if any.
This is to cover legal costs for the town.
Any further discussion on Article 4 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 4 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 4 passes. Article 5, Ms. Mullen.
I move that the town vote to transfer from account 80-0-359-3190, general stabilization, the sum of $375,000, $150,000 to the account number 1-423-520-5149, snow and ice labor payroll, and $225,000 to account number 1-423-520-5271, snow and ice contractors.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends that article.
Ms. Mullen for discussion, if any. Any further discussion on Article 5 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 5 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed by two-thirds. Article 6, Mrs. Pagone.
Yes, Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to appropriate and transfer the amount of $10,000 from account number 1-0-359-3590 free cash to account number 1-122-1085-5309 professional services to fund the title and survey work for the town-owned parcels.
I have a motion, do I have a second? Motion
Second.
made, seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Mrs. Pagone for discussion, if any.
No, it's printed.
Any further discussion on Article 6 as presented? Got to come up to the, got to come up to the microphone, please. Thank you. And just state your name and address for the record.
Jack Allington, Summit Drive. How many parcels does this cover?
Do you know the answer to that?
No, I'll defer to...
Mr. Seelig, do you?
The primary reason for this is for one parcel on Central Street. The deed is written back approximately in 1815 as part of a much larger land transaction, and there is interest in the town. We've had interest with people interested in buying this parcel from the town, but in order to even consider that, we need to know exactly the boundaries of the parcel, but also ensure that we have the correct title information.
Any idea on how big this parcel is?
I believe it's about 5 or 6 acres.
And it's on Central Street?
Yep.
And it's only with the one parcel?
Well,
10 grand.
it would certainly cover that. If we have a little left over and we need to go back and do another one at some point, we'll have some money available to do that. But yes, based on the estimates through the assessor's office, that's the cost of doing the title work plus doing the survey work. For instance, we just had a survey done of another property here in East Bridgewater, and the cost was between $8,000 and $9,000.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion on Article 6 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 6 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 6 passes. Article 7, Ms. Julius.
I move that the town vote to appropriate and transfer the amount of $50,000 from account 1-0-359-3590 free cash to account number 1-220-6006-5622 Fire Station Reno to fund prior year capital project articles.
I have a motion, do I have a second? Motion made and seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Ms. Julius for discussion, if any.
I believe that last year this account was mistakenly closed and the money was put into free cash, so now we need to take it back out of free cash and put it back into the account.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 7 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 7 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 7 passes. Article 8, Ms. Mullen.
I move that the town vote to appropriate and transfer the amount of $24,458.03 from account 1-0-359-3590 free cash to account number 1-220-6004-6850 firefighter PPE and to fund prior year capital project articles.
I have a motion, do I have a second? Motion made and seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Ms. Mullen for discussion, if any.
None.
Seeing none, any further discussion on Article 8 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 8 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 8 passes. Now we go to the main event.
Main event.
We're going to take a motion to reopen the annual town meeting. Motion made, seconded.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we reopen to the, so, just for discussion, you're going to see Article 1, 2, and 3 are going to be taken as a whole. Mr. Spagone, select board.
Yes, Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to take out of order Article 1, 2, and 3, that they be passed in consent in accordance with the motions shown on the 2026 East Bridgewater Annual Town Meeting consent agenda distributed to the town meeting attendees this evening.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Mrs. Spagone for explanation of any.
No, just standard budgetary procedure.
Any discussion on this? It's called a consent agenda. It was allowed by the state a number of years ago. It basically lets us take the every year thing we have to do and put them all in one. So if there's any discussion on the consent agenda article, which covers Articles 1, 2, and 3. Seeing none, all in favor of the consent agenda, which is Articles 1, 2, and 3, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. So we're on to Article 4. Ms. Julius.
I move that the town vote pursuant to Chapter 41, Section 108 of the general laws to determine the salaries of several elected town officers July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027, as written in the warrant.
I have a motion, I have a second. Motion made, seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends that article.
Ms. Julius for discussion, if any.
No, we do this every year just to determine salaries for people that are elected and not part of other employee contracts.
Yeah, don't I know it? 22 years, it hasn't gone up.
It has not changed except for the town clerks.
Any further discussion on Article 4 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 4 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 4 passes. Article 5, Mr. Walsh, Finance Committee.
Article 5, I move that the town vote to fix the salaries of all elected officials for the fiscal year 2027 and appropriate funds for the payment of said salaries and compensation, including the approval and funding of the town's obligation completed in the fiscal and calendar year, the payment of debt and interest provided for a reserve fund, charges, expenses, and outlays of the several town departments for the ensuing 12 months, period through June 30th, 2027. All as set forth in the budget presented by the Finance Committee and as funding therefore, to raise and appropriate through taxation, local receipts, and state aid, $58,847,861, and to transfer from the ambulance reserve receipts account the sum of $800,000, and further the sum of $450,000 from free cash, $250,000 from overlay, the sum of $450,000 from OPEB stabilization, the sum of $92,375 from capital stabilization, $10,325 of band proceeds from the Mitchell School feasibility study, and $120,105 from WPAT loan estimated receipts, $2,582,992 from water enterprise estimated receipts, and $500,000 from the water enterprise retained earnings, $1,645,644 from Solid Waste Enterprise Fund, estimated receipts, $100,000 from Solid Waste Enterprise Fund, retained earnings, $235,000 from EBCAM Enterprise Fund, estimated receipts, and $99,197 from EBCAM Enterprise Fund, retained earnings, all to fund the budget as recommended by the Finance Committee as shown in the final columns of Article 5 in the warrant for May 11th, 2026 Annual Town Meeting.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Finance, Mr. Walsh, for discussion, if any.
This year, we've had a very productive year with people working together to reach our goals, to include a financial plan as we're looking forward with some of the potential challenges that we still have. I think it was very well worked out, and we basically, don't see, I don't think, too many changes in service.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 5? This does require a two-thirds. Any further discussion on Article 5 as presented? Again, it's required two-thirds. Seeing none, all in favor of Article 5 as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed by two-thirds. Article 6, Mr. Pagone, Select Board.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Moderator. I move that the town vote to amend the current zoning bylaw and zoning map of the town of East Bridgewater by adopting a new Section 16 with the related map as written in the warrant.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Mr. Pagone for discussion, if any.
No, I think all I want to say is that the Select Board voted unanimously to bring this back in order to update the citizens on the potential of what would mean to be a non-compliance. That was our number one goal.
I take Planning Board recommendation. Mr. Riley.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The Planning Board held a public hearing with respect to this proposal on April 6, 2026, and unanimously voted to recommend its approval to the town meeting.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 6 as presented? This will require a two-thirds. Oh, I'm sorry, it's under the new law, it's a majority. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor of Article 6 as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Here's what we're going to do. My tellers, come forward. Because people use different levels of voice. The tellers that were sworn in, can you come forward for a minute? All right, all in favor, raise your hand and keep them up until I say. So keep them up. All in favor, raise their hand. All right, so and then the tellers are going to go. Go ahead, guys.
Thanks.
get that, John? I gave the figures. All right. All right, all opposed, raise your hand to keep them raised, please. You guys speak loud. This is for John. Good thing is the numbers come out right. So, voting yes, 149. Voting no, 220. The motion fails. All right, we go to Article 7. Ms. Mullen, Select Board.
I move that the town vote transfer from available funds the sums of money from account number 1-0-359-3590, free cash, $31,750, required to meet obligations for the Clerical Association and various individual contracts as follows, as printed.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion made, seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Ms. Mullen for discussion, if any.
None, sorry.
That's what the if any. I appreciate it, because you don't have to. Any further discussion on Article 7 as presented? Seeing none. All in favor of Article 7 as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Article 7 passes. Article 8, it is Mr. Walsh.
I make a motion to I move that the town vote to transfer from account 103593590, free cash, $171,722. Transfer from account 22-231-835-4270, ambulance receipts, $262,000. And the transfer from account 650-359-3590, water retained earnings, $193,000 to fund the stated projects as written in the warrant.
Do a motion, we have a second. Motion made, seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Capital Committee recommendation.
Capital Committee unanimously recommends this article.
All right, Mr. Walsh for discussion, if any.
These are capital needs that were discussed through the course of this year and what we can fund, and together, this is what we came up with.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 8 as presented? Saw a hand.
Hester Reed, West Street. I just had a quick comment, but it doesn't refer to this. Can I do a quick comment? It won't come up again, and it won't until the very end of the meeting.
Well, I don't, we only
If
have...
we can stay, there's 2 more votes on rezoning that they've put at the very end of the meeting.
Okay. I was just going to let people know leaving that we have an election this week. I was going to let them know we have an election Saturday. But there are, well, they should know about the zoning. It's in the budget. It's in the articles. So now, anybody got anything on Article 8? Seeing none. All in favor of Article 8, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 8 passes. Article 9, Ms. Julius.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer $74,435 from account 1-0-359-3590 free cash to account 1-910-6014-5167 contractual obligations to fund the sick leave buyback for a former member of the police department.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Ms. Julius for discussion, if any.
I think it's self-explanatory.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 9 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 9 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 9 passes. Article 10, Mrs. Pagone.
Yes, Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to appropriate and transfer from account number 8012236044680 opiate stabilization fund as written in the warrant, with the inclusion of the sum of $10,000 for the final line item on Article 10, 6 new AED devices.
Thank you. For clarification, I think if you look at that motion, I think that's blank on people's motion, right?
Yes,
So
that
you
is
just-
not,
so
that
so
is not there.
$10,000 goes into that last
Yep.
set where it's blank. I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
Motion made. Second. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Mrs. Pagone for discussion, if any.
No, just as printed, the extra is just for the automated external defibrillators that are portable that will be used in municipal buildings.
Thank you. This requires a 2/3. Any further discussion on Article 10 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 10 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 10 passes. Article 11, Deputy Chief McLaughlin. Is that the right title, Mike, Deputy Chief?
Correct.
Thank you.
I move that the town,
I'm just clarifying that passed by 2/3.
Article 10 was 2/3.
That's why you just said, I just clarified further, it passed by 2/3. Deputy Chief McLaughlin.
I move that the town vote to approve, appropriate and transfer $11,034.80 from account number 1-0-359-3590 free cash to account number 1-210-6028-5850 ballistic vests for the purpose of purchasing 7 new ballistic vests to replace expiring ballistic vests for police officers during FY27.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Any discussion, Mike?
It's just replacing ones that
Just
are...
get to the mic so they can hear you.
This is replacing ones that are expiring in FY27. They're only good for 5 years, and then they break down, possibly would not stop a bullet again, so they want to replace them, so they will.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 11 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 11 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Article 12, Ms. Dean, is she? Town Accountant.
I move that the town vote to rescind the sum of $900,000 of the authorization to borrow $1,700,000 voted in Article 1 of the special town meeting of February 20th, 2024.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
Ms. Dean Ferrandi, I assume this means money coming out back to,
Yeah, we originally approved borrowing of $1,700,000, and of that, there's $900,000 that we didn't borrow, so we're rescinding that.
thank you. Any further discussion on Article 12 as, Article 12 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 12 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 12 passes. Article 13, Ms. Mullen.
I move that the town vote to authorize the select board to request a special act of the general court in the form set forth below in relation to placing municipal charge liens, provided, however, that the general court may make clerical or editorial changes of form only to the bill unless the select board approve amendments to the bill before enactment by the general court, and provide further that the select board is hereby authorized to approve amendments which shall be within the general public objectives of this petition as written in the warrant.
Motion, do I have a second? Second. Ms. Mullen for discussion, if any.
None.
Any further discussion on Article 13 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 13 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a majority. Article 13 passes by majority. Article 14, Ms. Julius.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to amend Part 2, Section 5 of the general bylaw of the town of East Bridgewater as follows, with new language and bold and deleted language in strike-through as written in the warrant.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion was second. Ms. Julius for discussion, if any.
This is a bylaw change so that the treasurer-collector can set up a payment plan for people who are in tax title.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 14 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 14 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 14 passes. Article 15, Mr. Spagone.
Yes, Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to accept as a public way the street Whitmarsh Lane extension or portions thereof as laid out by the Select Board on April 13th, 2026, and a copy thereof filed with the town clerk as written in the warrant.
A motion, I have a second. Second, Mr. Spagone for discussion, if any.
Yeah, this is a continuing process that the board, as well as working with the town attorneys, have come up a way with some of the roads that were unaccepted. If you lived in Fieldcrest, Rolling Hills, Jacqueline Place, I think you know what I'm talking about. So what the town's trying to do is bring those roads back to accepted roads, and this is just another road in that line.
Any further discussion on Article 15 as presented? Seeing none, all in favor of Article 15 as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Article 15 passes. Article 16. I'll declare it as a two-thirds, acceptance of a road. Article 16, Mr. Hudson.
I move that the town
Oh,
vote
Mr. Hudson, could you identify yourself?
I'm sorry, Andrew Hudson, Chairman, Board of Health. I move that the town vote to appropriate $650,000 or any other amount to pay costs of making septic system improvement loans to homeowners eligible for such assistance in accordance with Title V, so-called the Massachusetts Code of Regulations, to determine whether this amount shall be raised borrowing or otherwise, and if by borrowing all or any portion of such borrowing may be obtained through Massachusetts Clean Water Trust.
Motion, I have a second. Motion made second. Finance Committee recommendation?
Finance Committee unanimously recommends this article.
This will require two-thirds. Mr. Hudson for discussion, if any.
None from me.
No, you, if you have any discussion, if you want to add anything.
I have nothing.
All right. You don't have to.
No, I've got nothing.
All right. Any further discussion on Article 16 as presented? Seeing none, you did a heck of a job.
Thank you, sir.
Seeing none, all in favor of Article 16 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This passes two-thirds. It passed by two-thirds. Article 17, Mr. Riley, Planning Board.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I move that the town vote to amend Section 67 of the zoning bylaws of the town of East Bridgewater by deleting the current text in its entirety and replacing it with the text as is written in the warrant.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Planning Board recommendation?
Mr. Moderator, the Planning Board held a public hearing with respect to this proposal, also on April 6, 2026, voted unanimously to recommend approval to the town meeting.
All right, for discussion, if any, Mr. Riley.
Discussion, this is just actually, it's an amendment, if you will, to what we had previously approved with respect to ADU units, and that is that the Attorney General, when the prior version was submitted, would not approve the restriction to just one particular residential zoning district and requires that it be available in all residential districts.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 17 as presented? By yourself?
Hester Reed, West Street. I just wanted to find out exactly what changes were made.
Mr. Riley, are there any specific changes you can
It said it was
identify?
amended, but according to the language up here, it says it's being completely deleted.
Yeah, I'm going to have Mr. Riley, Chairman of the Planning Board. Do you have
So,
specific sections that were added, or that are
I thought I just answered that question, but if I didn't, the only change is that the prior version was limited to the R1 residential district. This one applies, as the Attorney General requires, to any residential district in the town. That's the only change. Otherwise, the text is consistent with what's been approved previously.
It's just opening it up to more residential districts. Is that correct, Kevin?
Yeah, that's what
All right.
Attorney General requires, yes.
Any further discussion on Article 17 as presented? This is just a majority under the new laws. Seeing none, all in favor of Article 17 as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. All right, can we have the tellers? Again, I just hear voices, so I can't tell from up here. Can I have the tellers please come forward? All in favor, raise their hand. Just go back to the tellers know what district you cover. All in favor, raise your hand and keep them up, please.
Count these 4 people over here.
Did you count this? Can I put my hand down now? Okay. We're good. It's getting tired. Okay. It's just the ADUs. Okay. It's just because the state keeps changing the
All right, Article 17, it's a majority, passes 192 to 124. So Article 17 passes. Go on to Article 18. Let me get to Article 18, Mr. Riley, Planning Board. This requires a 2/3 vote. This one does.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to amend the current zoning map of the town by changing the current B4 zoning districts to B4 zoning districts to B2 zoning districts, as is written in the warrant.
I want to hold that for a second. I want town council. So here's how it works on that person who asked for a recount. You can ask from your seat because that's a procedural question. Okay, I thought, how's that? That better? All right, I should take this mic and hold like they do on TV. So if you want to recount, you saw the count, 192 to 124. So here's how you get a recount. You need 10 people to stand up to get a recount. Now, the numbers are different because a lot of people left after the first, as that lady knew, a lot of people left after that first zoning. So, I see 10 people. I'm going to ask the tellers to come forward again. And I'm going to, okay, fine. No, that's how, this is the procedure. I'm giving you the procedure. There's no discussion on it. I'm giving you a recount. You people can sit down. I need the tellers to come forward again. So just remember, it's 192 to 124. All in favor of Article 17 as presented, raise your hand.
You're voting for more
Quiet!
Mr. Moderator.
You're out of order.
Point of order here. Point of order here.
Yes, sir.
So something we overlooked in the initial discussion and I don't think was covered in the article. We already have this bylaw in place in the town of East Bridgewater.
I think Mr. Riley
Number one. Number two, the Attorney General sent us a redlined review of that bylaw that we adopted previously and said that based on state law, we cannot limit that to the R1 zone.
I understand that, Mr. Gardner.
We're already issuing building permits in those other zones.
I understand that, Mr. Gardner.
But the people here don't know that.
Right. And Mr. Riley did explain that all it was doing was just following the Attorney General's orders.
We're fixing the
He did
bylaw
state
to
that.
match the state law.
No, he asked for a point of information, and I'm giving that point of information to him and saying that Mr. Riley did explain that this came from the Attorney General, this bylaw is already approved, and Mr. Riley, since you were the proponent, am I correct? The Attorney General has said you can't limit it to one residential unit.
District.
Thank you. So, we've asked for a recount. 10 people stood up and acknowledged they want a recount. There's no discussion on it. All in favor, raise their hand. And keep them raised, please. I got you guys up here for it.
Announce it for me.
To my right, the front pole has 16. Back pole to my right has 10. Come here, 27. 35 on back center. I think it's hit with this time.
Do we count the middle one?
In the middle, again, there, we can spot now. Upon recount requested by more than 10 citizens of the town, the vote still passes 192 to 125. We're on to the next article. Article 18, Mr. Riley. I know you presented it already. If you mind doing it again? Thank you.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to amend the current zoning map of the town of East Bridgewater by changing current B4 zoning districts to B2 zoning districts. Those properties are as printed in the warrant.
I have a motion. I have a second. Motion made and seconded. Planning board recommendation. Sorry, Mr. Riley, you got to stay up.
Yeah, sorry. Mr. Moderator, the Planning Board held a public hearing on this matter on April 6, 2026, voted unanimously to recommend its approval to the town meeting tonight.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 18 as presented?
Hester Reed, West Street. I just want to confirm that we're moving from a more heavy industrial zoning to a light industrial zoning.
Mr. Riley, could you just explain the, or Mr. Gardner, would you? Mr. Gardner from the Planning Board.
I think while the zoning is changing, and I guess you could describe that as from heavier commercial use to a less heavy commercial use. The fact of the matter is I think clearly shown in the map that's in the warrant, all of the land that's proposed to be rezoned is almost all currently small lot residential housing, both on North Bedford Street and in the street frontage in front of that land off of Union Street. So the intent is to try and make that a zone, as good planning would require, that says it's more compatible with the existing uses along both North Bedford Street and Union Street, as all of the abutting properties, with the exception of those areas that are already zoned B2, are residential in use as of today.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner.
So to clarify, we are turning currently residential zoned to industrial zoned?
I don't believe that's what he said, Mr.
Well,
he'll explain.
We don't have...
All of that land is currently zoned business, not industrial. But the disconnect here is that all of that land effectively fronting in North Bedford Street and Union Street is actually currently residentially used protected properties. They're all residential homes. So the intent is to try and make the new zoning district in between Route 18 and Union Street more compatible with the existing residential homes that are there now.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner. I'm going to... You. I couldn't see you.
Whoa. Hi, Kathy Wolf, 272 Laurel. Okay, I'm going to sound really dumb tonight, but I just don't quite understand this. Mr. Gardner's talking about residential property along the highway, and yet this indicates that it's all business, apparently. What's the difference between B2 and B4? I don't know what that means. And if the highway is all residential property, why isn't it an R designation? Non-conforming use. I don't know what that means either. So, and then we've got orange in here. What does that mean? And you know, I mean, you're looking at red and pink, and then we've got orange, and I don't understand.
Mr. Gardner.
I think there's only two districts we're talking about here, and both of those are businessly zoned district. Again, I'll try and make this clearer if I can. All of the land on the North Bedford Street Route 18 side is basically all residential in its existing form. They're all houses, mostly small lot houses. It's become clear over time that any extensive business use on that site is not going to happen, because that was zoned B4 back in 1987. None of those homes have changed since then. This is basically all land north of Town Tavern up until the line that comes out almost all the way up to Harvard Street. Almost all of that is existing residential homes. The abutting property in the area that we're planning to rezone on Union Street is also all existing residential homes. The intent of changing from B4 to B2 is to allow small businesses to operate and/or single-family or duplex homes to be part of that mix with the business district, which basically is what's actually there now. So for all intents and purposes, this is not really a significant change. It's to try and fix the zoning to match what's physically there right now.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner. This does require a 2/3 vote. Any further discussion on Article 18 as presented? Say your full name and address, sir.
Pond Street. I just want to clarify, the purple area looks like it's all vacant land, and you want to make it basically residential to put in any type of housing. So you're going to expand the housing in the town, whether apartments, duplexes, condos, in that vacant land. I'm assuming that's what we're actually voting for. It's a little deceptive the way this was put together by the planning board. They didn't clarify, but according to Gardner, it opens it up for more building, for more housing, which is going to bring in 40B and so forth. So I would say vote no. Thank you.
Mr. Riley.
So let me take a crack at this. So the intent here, the intent back when this B4 district was created, was that perhaps multiple of these properties would be combined and you would have things like the medical center and so forth across the way, the signature building, former Compass building. That has not happened. Those large-scale business developments along Route 18 have not happened over the years. So the idea is all of those, or many of those properties are currently, while they're zoned for business, they are occupied by residences. So as we're saying, the idea is to make, potentially, not increase residences there. There are already residences there. The idea is to promote a different, or allow a different kind of business development along Route 18, which is our commercial strip, and from which, the town generates obviously a good business tax revenue if some of those properties were so developed.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. Yes, Mr. Weinerfelder. Don't hurry.
Mr. Moderator, he goes on about a lot of houses being up there. They're on Route 18. There's a few old houses in there that are being sold, some aren't. You've still got a huge parcel, a couple of large parcels, that are now becoming residential. We can't take this many more houses. The governor and her crew is forcing this other stuff down our throats. You got a planning board in this town that doesn't believe in trees. They'd take every damn tree in town down if they had the opportunity. I'm going to ask the Board of Selectmen, if you've got 3 articles like this in a town meeting, put them together. This is the same thing that happened on the original vote on this whole mess. When we thought we voted for a particular article, and turned around, after that was defeated, you turned around and stuck it in the back door, and you got the same damn thing that we turned down on the previous article. And here's the same thing happening all over again.
Before you speak, I'm going to see, does anybody else have, before this young lady who's had a couple times, which we don't normally extend tubes on, does anybody else have anything that they want to add either side of this? If not, I'll entertain her as the I don't know if he's getting up to talk, or he's going to have to leave.
Please don't leave.
Why don't you go ahead with yours? If he comes up, we'll get
I
him.
appreciate that. Thank you. I really do feel like since the article for the MBTA has been presented to us now 3 times, and we've voted no now 3 times, I'm hoping that the inverse, we would also have an opportunity, the Article 17 that passed, especially because they weren't put together like the good gentleman had suggested. They were spread very far apart. People thought that they did their part, had to go home. I can totally respect that. I have a child at home right now. But I would love to ask, will we also have another opportunity to vote on Article 17 and Article 18 again, like we did with the last article, until we get the response or the verdict that you guys want? I would love another crack at that.
All right, thank you. Thank you. These 2 people will be the last speakers on the articles. We're going around and around.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Identify yourself, please. You. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you. Identify yourself and your address.
Rachel Tedesco, 105 Sachem Rock Ave. Okay. I was going to make some sort of comment about the
previous article.
To this one.
But I'll address this one. In general, we urgently need more housing, particularly housing at more affordable costs. This does not mean subsidized housing, but
Please let us speak. We all get the opportunity. Go ahead.
okay, but more housing within the reach of a wide range of working class and middle class families and individuals. This need for housing is critical. We aren't isolated in a rural area. We are in an area around a city. You know, I mean, we need housing for everybody, not only for people who may want to move here because they have jobs in the area, but for our own families, young adults who moved away to go to college and now want to come back, the senior citizens who want to move out of their big houses on large lots, but still stay in this town where they have lived for decades. And that includes my husband and myself, really. This present lack of housing is causing the increase in the value of our homes. One reason for the increased property taxes we all must pay for town services. You may get a good profit when you sell your house, but then where would you move if you want to stay in East Bridgewater? Where could you afford to live? We have a real housing crisis here. So I urge that you vote for this article.
Thank you. Sir, this will be the last speaker on the article. Sir, identify yourself and your address.
William Stetson, Union Street, one of the properties abutting that land between Route 18 and Union. And I'm shocked to learn that it's had any business zoning whatsoever. Any person that would have walked between that property, between Union and 18, like I have, would realize that's forest. It's full of wetlands, lots of wildlife. It's beautiful. I can't believe that that would be used for any residences whatsoever, let alone business use. That is not a residential area, despite it showing that way on a map. It is forest. So I just wanted to be clear that that's what it was. I was walking there this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I said he was the last speaker. Can you make it brief? Yeah. Okay, make it brief. People that come to me should talk, but I did say it was last, but make it brief.
Okay.
Identify yourself.
My name is David Finley. I live on Willie Avenue, and I've been here for 46 years. It would appear that the state of Massachusetts and the Attorney General is using blackmail and extortion.
Well, wait a second.
Let me speak.
To this article.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Hold on a second, sir. First of all, I said you got to speak to the article. This article, I don't believe, has anything to do with the Attorney General. Am I correct?
Yes.
Nothing to do with it. So speak to the article.
Okay. I'd like to talk about the MBTA.
No, that's gone. It's already been voted down.
It's voted down?
Yes, it was voted down
earlier.
earlier.
Can I ask 2 questions on it?
The article on the MBTA was voted down, sir.
Can I ask 2 questions?
Not on the MBTA, you can't, sir.
Move the article.
I've already, people have had opportunity, I've discussed it, I have a motion to move the article, limits debate, I've already went further than I said I would. So, we're gonna close the article, we're gonna close debate, and we're gonna vote on the article. I don't mean to be mean, but I did explain, and I gave this gentleman a break, but he didn't want to talk about this one. No, but we've closed the article, so all in favor of Article 18 as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed? No! It's a 2/3, so sorry, I believe it didn't pass, but it's a 2/3, so I had to take a count. I'm sorry, that's the rules. So all in favor, keep your hand up, please. So it does have to pass by 2/3, but because of the voice and the echo, I have to make sure. Don't mean to be mean, but we have to.
Okay. I'm behind you again. Thank you.
Article 18 fails, 127 to 204. And I still can't believe I didn't get a raise. Article 19, is Mr. Simpson here? Oh, Brad, there you are.
Brett Simpson, 12 Sandy Hill Drive, and I move the town approve the bylaw as written in the warrant. I have a second?
Motion, I have a second.
They're waving their hands.
No, I got a second, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I got it here, too. So you get to discuss.
Yeah.
It's yours, Brett.
All right. So, not accustomed to this, and I thought people would have a
You
higher...
got to talk to the mic, Brett.
All right. I thought it'd be a higher degree of dialogue on some of these things tonight, but I'm here to increase the awareness of the activities of town that potentially impact our taxes. And what I'm really trying to do here is, or what the aim of this warrant is to strengthen the legal requirements of communication relative to special town halls, debt exclusion votes, and tax override votes. And the current bylaws, as you've heard read several times tonight, is simply the posting of a warrant in 6 places in town. And if I gave somebody $20 to name all 6, you couldn't. But I digress. There's actually no legal requirement by the town to notify us of any debt exclusion tax vote, any tax override tax vote, or any vote related to increasing our taxes. I think that needs to change, and that's what the purpose of this is tonight.
Thank you.
So why? Oh,
No, you got more. Go ahead.
There's 3 pages. There's stats here. So why not? Why now? In November, we had a vote for a $125 million investment on a school project. I don't care if you build it. I don't care if you don't build it. But I would bet most of the people who voted either said, shiny new building, or I don't want the taxes, didn't understand the pros, the cons, or any of the values of the school or the counter options. We had 1,347 people vote. East Bridgewater has 11,978 voters, registered voters. We got 11.2% of our voters voting on a $125 million project. That seemed absurd to me. Having seen those 719 people in our town, 6% have us paying $125 million. Again, don't care, just wish I knew one direction or another to vote. Now, I contacted the Mass Department of Election to determine if this vote was run in accordance to law. And they said, Mr. Simpson, it's based on the bylaws. So as you said, they posted 6 warrants. They provided us a notification for that. Called the town hall, asked them what they thought of this. They said, this is typical voting, what you get in towns like this. I said, fair enough. Massachusetts website lists all debt exclusion votes in Massachusetts. Since 2021, there have been 717 debt exclusion votes. The state provided me with the number of voters per debt exclusion. Doing the same math to get to 11%, I did the same math for every one of those 717 votes, and East Bridgewater ranked 563rd in voter participation. 78% of the other debt exclusions had more people involved than we had. I said, maybe it's because it's schools. So I defined it down to schools. Of those 717 votes, or votes, yeah, 218 were for schools. Of those, East Bridgewater ranked 164 of the participation. 163 other towns had other votes, had a higher degree. Finally, this was a pretty significant investment, so I looked at it for those that had $25 million or more in their debt exclusion vote. There were 69 of them. We ranked 60th, 85% ahead of us. At this point, I'm saying, I think there's a problem. We're in the 4th quartile. We're better than that. We should aspire to being better than that. So then I then said, I believe that this is due to a lack of awareness and an ineffective communication process in our bylaws currently. I asked Mr. Seelig, I sent some bullet points to Mr. Seelig, said, why don't we change the bylaws? He said, I don't do that, you do that. That's what this petition's about. I read 50 other towns' bylaws, and this is a compilation of it. So it's not unique. This is not unique to us. It isn't something I created. It is something I drew from other towns. So what am I trying to accomplish? I'm trying to make our bylaws require 4 methods of communication for special town meetings when they occur, what they're about, and more importantly, about debt exclusion, tax votes, and tax override votes. Many towns in the South Shore are now doing that just to pay the bills. They don't have to notify you when they do it. They do in a sort of bizarre way, but at the end of the day, they don't have to legally do that. So I'm now making it legally required. 4 things are being required by this thing. I'm asking them to continue to do the posting of the warrants, because that's what every town does. All 50 had the same damn thing. It's probably one of those parliamentary law things, Bob. Then there's the posting of warrants on the website. Now, we do that today. Katie Kavanaugh does that today. Effectively, doesn't have to. Legally, she's going to be required. Now, at this point, this is where the town believes they've met their requirement. They said, hey, you know what, Brett? If you want to know what's going on, we've got this thing called the alerts. Don't forget to when you go home tonight, check the alerts. You want the alerts. I said, okay, fine. Or you could use our Facebook page. If it's such a good tool, those alerts, why has only 825 of the 11,900 people signed up for it? It's not that great of a deal. Nobody knows it. And it's a flood of emails you don't necessarily want, right? Then you get to the point of a Facebook page, and God love us, if that's the way we want to communicate through a social media like that, we're in trouble. But let's just go another way. That's only 10% of our people. 1,100 are currently following us. That's 90% that aren't. So are we really being effective with those 2 methods? The third thing I'm asking you to do is posting of street signs. Not the big flashing signs. You're only doing it twice a year. You do the coffee shop ones, right? But if you notice, you ever go through Bridgewater when they're having a vote? They have them posted periodically throughout their town. I'm just creating awareness through these things. Now, the final piece could get some of you going, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, but I'm going to tell you why you want to do it. I'm asking them to do a direct mailing of the warrant. Why is that? It's because it's guaranteeing you're going to get the masses informed of these things, like the vote you're having tonight. But think of it this way, there's a cost to it. There's a cost of about between $4,000 and $6,000, depending on the size of the warrant. But again, we're going to offer people to opt out. So if you say, I don't want that, great, you can opt out. You can't opt out for your neighbor, but you can opt out for yourself. And so you get that number down. You have 2 meetings a year. Maximum cost right now is estimated at $12,000. We have 5,000 residents in here. That's $2.40 a resident per year to be better informed. I don't know if that's really a bad cost for us. Right now, we appropriated in '26 $65 million to spend. That's $13,037 per person. The $12,000 represents 0.02%. So what I'm asking us is to increase communication. It also provides you a potential financial benefit, because you come to these meetings, you get more people in here, maybe you spend a little less money because you got people who might oppose some of the things, not necessarily a $125 million school, but something along those lines. You also might get better ideas to get cost reduction on those things. Finally, people vary, and people have varying preferences. Some prefer electronic, some prefer hard copies. This is why we need multiple methods of communication. There are 1,949 voters in our town, 71 and older. That's 16% of us. And then if you drop that to 66, there's 2,891. That's 24% of East Bridgewater. I'm not sure we're all crazy about the phones at 71. So maybe you give us a chance, you send us something in the mail, and we figure out what to do. From a financial standpoint, residents have only houses with 65 or older residents represent 25% of the property taxes paid in this town. So again, I'm sort of leaning toward the mailing, I'm leaning toward the signage, keep up the website, do the warrants if you want, and Bob, that's the end of my day.
Very good presentation, Brett. Hey, Brett, I have a question, so I want to clarify something.
Yes, sir.
So I just want to make sure that I'm on the same page before we present.
Go ahead, please.
So this notification wouldn't necessarily affect tonight because we don't have any debt exclusion.
You do. So tonight, there are 4 pages inside that booklet that are a special town meeting.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's,
notification.
okay, that's, but, right, but if
And
we have a
then-
special town meeting,
Yeah. So then, Bob,
I'm just trying to
the ones
clarify.
for debt exclusions, like the one we had in November?
Yeah,
So.
Yes.
So you had a town meeting the Tuesday before the vote, right?
yeah.
There would have been a notification for that. And then, by the way, there'd be a separate notification, that, by the way, you have an election coming up. That's more important to people, because some people may not want to show up to this thing, but they
I don't
will
know
show up
why.
to the vote. Yeah, but lack of seating, mostly. All right, so.
All right, I just wanted to make sure, because I'm reading it, but it's a very good presentation, Brett. Very
Okay,
good.
you good?
Yeah, well, unless somebody has questions for you.
Oh, yeah.
Any further discussion on Article 19 as presented? I think Ms. Wolf.
Hi, Kathy Wolf, 272 Laurel Street. I've lived here for 35 years, and at one point, a few years ago, we got to the point where so few people were showing up to this annual meeting that we did away with quorums. I thought that was absolutely horrible. But even with the importance of the voting that we did this evening, this is a pathetic showing, and yet I have never seen the hall this full. The interest in our local government, local committees, is completely gone, and I personally think it has to do with social media, or the fact that we expect everything to come through as a Zoom meeting, or we don't ever have to leave our homes anymore. We don't have a lot of activities with your neighbors anymore. The society has changed very dramatically. But the thing I was wondering about is the best way to reach out and at least notify people of what's going on. Now, I have a question for Katie, our town clerk. She sends out an annual census every year. We get it in the early days of the year, and we're supposed to return it. And the purpose of that is to see if the voters are still here in town. What kind of a return do you get on those letters?
Okay.
How many do you send out approximately, and how many get returned?
Every household gets.
I know
the census.
every address gets it.
So right now, we're probably at I'm going to say 60% return rate. We're still getting them, which is kind of funny because they were due April 1st.
Okay.
But yeah, we received about 60%.
Okay,
back.
so let's see. Brett, that gives you some idea of how difficult it will be to send out an envelope with information in it and get any kind of response. People they would look at it and they go, oh, it's junk mail. That's it. One of the things that came out at candidates night, and thank goodness Katie corrected me on this. I was telling them you come down to the town clerk and sign up for emailed information about the committee meetings in town, about elections, etc. Well, you can actually sign up for that online. Does anybody know the actual website, or the, not a website, yeah, it's the website that you would go to, the URL. Okay, it's EB whatever, .gov.
eastbridgewaterma.gov.
Oh, thank you very much, Charlie. So if you want to find out what's going around town, what's happening, that is one of the best places to go. You can sign up there, indicate the types of committees you're interested in, you can find out what's going on with the Board of Selectmen, what's going on with the Planning Committee, Planning Board, etc. Also, I believe the minutes are posted. I think that Brett wants this petition to go through because he is also interested in getting more town participation. I'm not sure that all four methods are reasonable. I think I'm mostly concerned about the cost of an annual. I know you're like, it's only $2.40 a piece, but when we're having trouble buying textbooks for classrooms, if it's $6,000 or $7,000, that's quite a bit of money. So I think that emailing is one of the better ways to do it. And if you sign up for our website, then you can have everything emailed to you.
Thank you, Mrs.
That's
Wilson.
it, thanks.
Thank you, I just want to keep it moving.
Just one thing on that.
Yep, go ahead, I was going to call on you.
Stephanie Mahoney, Murray Road. I understand where both of them are coming from, but as a mom of a student here in East Bridgewater, we would get calls and texts from the school. How much does that cost the town? And why can't we do that for town meetings to the people that want to be on that phone list?
That's an option, but I don't, Mr.
Mr.
Seeley.
Murray? I know we did a reverse 911 call for this town meeting. If you're not on the list, then, and that's not the website list, that's code red, and that includes emergency and non-emergency calls at this point. But if your cell phone isn't registered on the list, you don't get that phone call.
See,
And
my phone number is registered on the list, same phone number for the last 15 years, and I never got a call. I got a call from a woman part of the Democratic Party here in town, but never from the town.
Well, all I can tell you is the call went out because I know enough people contacted the select board office and posted on Facebook saying, hey, why did we get this phone call? So I know the call went out. Well, I would recommend checking with Code Red again and making sure your number is on the list.
Okay. All right, because what it costs to mail things out, like that woman did say, most of the mail that does come in, it gets tossed in a pile. As somebody that pays all her bills online, most of my mail does get tossed in a pile and then thrown out. So I wouldn't want the town to waste money on sending messages to me in the mail. So I just feel like maybe there should be an alert for the town people to make sure to sign up for the Code Red, or, you know, more advertisement for it so people know in town.
That's always the conundrum for the town, is how do you tell people how to get the information without knowing how they want to get the information, to be told how to get the information.
We just got a bunch of pretty electronic advertisement things outside schools and town hall. That would be a perfect opportunity, and that's free advertisement. So I just want to, I don't want the town to pay for money that we're not, it's going to be useless. As somebody that's a millennial, I throw all that money away.
Just two things, really. It's not intended to be 100% of you like it, right? It's meant to be, can we get up to 20%, right? So as you said, somebody said, oh, about a quarter you'll open it. Yeah, a quarter you'll open it. And that's better than what you got with this website. And it's not new, right? It's been around forever. 825 people so far. That's a robust thing. No, I'm asking you to send it out to people. And again, I say 25% of us are old. We're not particularly going to sit there and see all the emails. So I'm okay with that. It's not meant to be there.
Exactly, but the Code Red or a
All right, easy.
But one final thing.
Good point.
So as I said, 25% of the houses have 65 and older only in it. Another 25 have at least one. And by the way, only 30% of our houses have a child in it. We pay a lot to children, too. Let's take care of the elderly as well. I'm one.
Be careful about over 65, I qualify. Jim. Mr. Weidenfeller.
Getting my exercise.
I know.
I go back and I remember several years ago when we were discussing the landfill. The town meeting was held at the middle school at that time. They had 3 or 4 extra rooms. We had so many people there. I remember the old high school, and I don't remember exactly what it was for, but I know 2 nights we were there, and they had extra rooms. The gymnasium was set up. We don't have a newspaper anymore in this town. It's not only this town, the whole South Shore doesn't have a newspaper anymore. So I don't know what you're going to do. I think it's a great idea, but frankly, I don't think people really give a damn. And I've heard more people say, talking about town meetings, I've heard more people say, it's already decided. Why bother? I know what they're going to do. They're going to do as they damn well please, and we're going to get screwed.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, seeing no further discussion on Article 19, this is just a simple majority. Wait till Jim gets seated. All in favor of Article 19, this again is the majority. All in favor of Article 19 as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. It passes by majority. Article 20, Ms. Julie, Select Board.
Yes.
Oh, I have your name on here, did not you?
Yeah, no, it is. I was just checking on the figure. I move that the town vote to raise and appropriate or transfer from available sums $13,000 required to cover the cost of signage mailing as written in the petition article.
Thank you. I have a motion, I have a second. Motion seconded, Finance Committee recommendation.
Finance Committee didn't vote on this article because we
Okay.
didn't have the funding source at the time.
Okay, thank you. So no recommendation for Finance. Ms. Julius, for discussion, if any.
Well, now that you've passed the petition, we have to fund.
Can't hear you.
Sorry, now that the petition is passed, and then we have to put the money in place to fund what the petition is requiring.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Article 20 as presented? Seeing none, before we take a vote, just remind people that we do have a town election. I see people scurrying out. We do have a town election on Saturday at what time? The middle school from what? 11 to 7, the annual town election. All right, seeing no further discussion on Article 20 presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Article 20 passes by majority. My motion to adjourn, we in order? What?
You can say it.